Brandon. Yeah, we are. I have known Shalini for a number of years. I took her boutique class a number of years ago. And I also had an opportunity to go to India.
My family is from my mistake.
For real. Her mistake, because we were someplace once upon a time and somebody came up and started speaking Hindi to me. And she was right there. Yes.
English words.
Yes. And I was like, so I'm like a chameleon. I must adapt to the place where I am, that they thought that I looked Indian.
No
Indian
way.
way.
Inside the mall, if you walk straight down the
Yes.
blue lounge.
So I just want you to explain to us briefly what boutique is, and then just talk maybe about some of your pieces that are here. So,
She probably can tell you what to teach.
well, we'll get her to
They
weigh
do
in
it
too.
in Africa.
They do it in Africa, they do it in Indonesia, they do it in India.
Well, most of the Eastern countries they used to.
Yes,
But it's ancient.
yes, it is ancient.
And you know, then the Dutch people brought it like everything else all over the world. And we don't do the conservative way now, dipping everything in every color. But you have to use hot wax, paraffin and beeswax. Draw in that, resist. It works like a resist. You can use.
I'm gonna be Vanna and get one of her pieces so you can
You can
explain.
use like rubber cement sort of thing, but that doesn't give you the cracks. We have to crack the wax. That's how we create the like perspective, depth, highlights and all that. And then you feed the colors in it. And it's a very lengthy process because
Look at it easy.
every time you put a color, then you don't want to mess it up.
Right,
So you're going to wax it.
okay.
You dry it, you wax it, then you again put the color, then you keep doing it until you're done with your color.
So you have to wait until one section dry before you apply another, or?
Well, dry means wax cools off
What cools
within
off?
seconds.
Yes.
But the dyes have to dry.
Okay.
And if you want to save the part as is, then you have to cover it with hot wax.
Okay.
And then keep going further.
Okay.
Usually
So
on silver.
basically you are developing the result.
Okay, okay.
Even though you have your lines.
Okay.
And I don't draw anything, I do freehand. I'm lazy, very lazy.
That was freehand? Was that freehand?
I'm sorry,
Was this freehand?
this is a freehand. It's
No.
also on an antique silk, that's my grandmother's sari.
Oh
That
my
I cut off.
goodness.
Because it has all these pure gold thread embroidery. And that was one way to preserve it. Yeah. Otherwise it would be burnt and taken the gold out. So I just said, let's preserve it somehow. And that's what I did. So hopefully it'll last for a long time. And it's a lengthy, interesting, confusing, very confusing process.
No, it's not that good.
But at the same time, it creates very good results.
Yeah.
I don't do traditional boutique anyway. Because if you see it in India, majority of them you'll see like they do scriptures or very like mythological, stories or deities, their faces and they've been done so many times, I think. They need a little rest. So I said, I'm going to do something.
Look who's here.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
So we
that's
have
okay.
Jokita who can join the conversation. Come on down,
So,
sis.
that's what I do, and this is one thing I have patience with. I don't have patience with anything else.
So over the time that I've known Shalene, she's also branched out and she's done some acrylic, and now she's doing like collage where she's incorporating the boutique and a lot of stuff, yes.
I didn't bring any collages here, but there were so many pieces. I didn't really like everything I did, but I love my artwork.
But
Nobody has
as
to
an
take
artist
it.
who's been
I love
trained
it.
as an artist,
You know.
artists never like their work.
No,
They
I
never
love
like
my
the
work.
finished product. They think it's never complete when it's complete.
I love my work and I know when to stop, it's done.
That's right.
And the thing is, there were so many pieces unframed. And over the years, your style changes, your colors change, everything changes. As it's basically you, whatever you're feeling, how you grew up, it all comes out on that.
Right.
It's like a poetry, so that's how it is. But then you go back and see something done 10 years ago, now I want more to it, sort of thing. So I said, let me venture into it. I tried a couple of pieces. I put them on canvas and then I started looking through magazines. I used some of my old photographs, like after mom passed away, I did little things with mom's picture, dad's picture, that's all. It turned out fun. I've been doing some collages. Next time I'll do collage, exhibit the collages, and that'll be fun. But I am going to be setting up exhibit of mine and all my class members in the building that I teach.
Which is Beardall?
It's Beardall Senior Center. It's right there on the corner of Delaney and Gore. And second floor, I've taken off everything that was there, and we are going to do that second floor, a full exhibit and opening and all that.
And when are you gonna have
Come by,
that?
see
When
that.
is that gonna
I'm
be?
setting it up Monday.
Okay,
And
how long will it be there?
It'll be there for 3 months at least.
Okay.
Because I might go away in between. So
Okay.
I'm going to leave it for a couple of things because I'm the one who has to do all of that.
Okay, I know.
So,
And so what I've
amazing.
learned in doing what I've done for the first time, it is a lot of work. Miss Jokita,
Thank
come
you.
join our
Yeah.
intimate circle here.
No, I was just
Come join
resisting.
our.
I've done this all
So
day.
this
I
is
love your name.
Jokita,
Oh,
and
thank
so
you.
her stained glass, so just so you know, this is
So-
Shalini Tandon, because she's taking the
She
class.
knows me very well.
This is my friend Bonnie, and so do you know Najiri?
No,
Najiri is from Kenya, and so
I know, you are so quick.
So, Jokita is coming from the Winter Park Library where she had some of her stained glass pieces, and her exhibit is next in this gallery. Her opening is March the 7th, step by step. We're gonna have you talk about that, but we were just having a very informal discussion with the artist. And so you just happen to roll up in here.
Okay.
So,
I
if you would not share with us, Miss Jokita, your name, rank and serial number.
I am Jokita. I am a mostly glass artist, so stained glass, mosaic, blown glass, as well as fused glass. And I also dabble in some other mediums, but that's my main source that I deal with the most in creating. As Pam already said, my opening is next Saturday at 5 o'clock, and we're having a exhibition opening, as well as we're gonna have some fashion show. We're gonna have, and it's gonna be wearable art, and we're also going to have a tasting. So it's representing North America, which includes Mexico, United States, as well as Canada. So hopefully you all can make it out and invite more people.
How did you get started doing stained glass?
Okay, so long story short, which pieces are mine? So anything with the glass
The
element.
stained glass,
So the
yeah.
family piece here,
All those two pieces over there, the
those
drum.
two pieces there,
There's a drum on the side.
and this mosaic piece right here.
The
or
bridges,
rebridges.
and right here, this mask right
Yeah,
here.
the mask, the blue mask right there as well.
Okay.
So the glass elements are all me. And I got started probably formally with glass, being a glass artist. About 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and then I had the hospital damaged my right femoral nerve, so I ended up paralyzed. So I had to learn how to walk again and everything, just drive everything all over from scratch. So I started doing art therapy, and I took a class, and then every time I made something, somebody wanted to buy it, and I was just making it for myself. And then here we are.
Just in 2 years?
No.
10 years. 10 years.
So I'm 10 years cancer free. So
Oh,
I've been
all right.
doing
2 years.
just professionally as an artist and really serious about it, maybe like 6 years, because I still was working full time as an aviation engineer. And so
Black
I
girl
was doing
magic,
both.
black girl magic.
I know that's right.
And then I call it forced retirement in
Yeah.
October. So I decided that I was gonna look for
Another
working
job,
for somebody else.
Work for yourself.
Yes, and it's been going well. So
So
Right.
when I came up with my theme, Sister Jokita, among others, the village, cause see, we got a village going on up in here. So Jaquita, Maho, Garrett, Patrick knows a lot of folks. Aided a sister, cause the sister was like, looky here, y'all, looky here. I had my little notebook, which I still got my notebook, that I was writing stuff down when people would tell me stuff. I was like, oh, wait, let me get my notebook. So they think this is like a magical notebook, but it was to keep me, so when I had time, I could go and review what they had told me. Because they're all artists, they've been doing what they've been doing, and I'm just out here having fun. Like, I'm taking Shalene's class because I'm having fun, you know what I'm saying? So, Jaquita said to me that she had pieces that were representative of different parts of Africa. So, Miss Jaquita, since you're here, would you mind just going to your piece and sharing a little bit about your pieces?
So yes, I was like, Tam, we're gonna do north, south, east, and west because the continent is so vast, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of other times people will focus on Western Africa and not the whole continent. So the piece over to the right there is Berber, and that is a Moroccan piece. So that's North Africa. And that piece was made late last year in celebration of the Green Day March, which was a peaceful, nonviolent march, and it was the 75th anniversary of that. No, 50th anniversary of that, and the 75th anniversary of their independence. And so that was made from Morocco. And then I had the Nipsey piece, which represents East Africa because his father's Eritrean, his mother is American. And so, yes. So you see
Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, Hussle, yes. And then, not the comedian, no, that was
Nipsey Russell.
Nipsey,
yes.
Hussle, yes.
Hussle,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I have the West African drum on the wall where the quilts are. You'll see that where the quilts are. And then I also have the mask. Well, this is African American, so this is the diaspora. This representation of me, you know, being an American girl. And so this is quintessential because the name of my exhibition is Every Step Counts. And so I believe whether you're going in one direction or the other, it counts. So what you're doing, it should be for the good, so you're led in the right path and people will follow the right path. So this is the Ruby Bridges piece. So you'll see a lot of things centered around Ruby Bridges. You'll see a lot about, like this piece here, it doesn't have like all the derogatory terms and different things that have been in other pieces to show what really was happening that day, because she really didn't know what was happening. And so it's peace all around her. And sometimes you'll see I'll write lyrics to different songs. So like Bob Marley's song may be in it, Everything's Gonna Be Alright. And because to her, everything was gonna be alright. She didn't know what she was up against or what she was getting into. She was placed into this role and had to live through the torment as well as being able to grow, you know, in an environment that wasn't loving to her. And the piece over behind you all represents the entire continent, but it represents family, and everybody's going in the same direction, everybody's working together, and you can put any dynamic together to be a family. It could be mom, dad, child, grandparents, child, it could be, you know, sisters. And so this piece over here represents us all. And then the mask over here is West African. And so the blue mask right there is fused glass. And so that is a process where you take broken pieces of glass, that's the same coefficient, which is the COE, the expansion, and it has to kneel in a kiln for about 12 hours so that it doesn't crack with the thermal shock. And so, voila.
And then your yellow piece, the yellow piece.
Okay, yes, there's a fused piece back there called The Naked Truth, because literally, like truthfully, when we strip down all of the mess and noise, you know, you get to the heart of things, you get to the core, you get to the truth. And then during slavery, we were literally naked on the auction blocks, like literally everything was stripped away from us, our languages, our culture, everything was taken away. So it's like you're bare, and you know, just the beauty in having gone through all of that and still being here, right?
Right.
So what I want you all to leave with is that, you know, when you look at art,
I've seen it, right?
there's a story being told, but there's a lot of symbolism. And artists use colors, different colors, because they're conveying a message by the use of the colors that they use. So moving forward, hopefully what you get from this is when you come and you look at art, don't just like first blush say, oh, this is what it is. Maybe that is what it ain't, okay?
Right.
Maybe you have to go a little deeper, because there's always symbolism, okay? And specifically African art, but African American, because you know we deep. You know, we African. We know stuff. We know stuff. And everybody don't know what we know, but if you know, then you see it. You be like, oh, I see it. Okay? And so it doesn't matter, you know, what culture you come from. We all come from the continent of Africa. We are one. So I had spoke about Ubuntu, and that kind of came, I just want to get back there real quick. So when one of the connections in the discussion was about apartheid and also the civil rights movement, the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, when Nelson Mandela was elected as the first president, he asked Archbishop Desmond Tutu to be head of, it was called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And what that was, it was an attempt to allow people, South Africans, Afrikaners basically, who had committed heinous crimes. It was an opportunity for them to come share with the community, with the village, what they had done. And say, I'm sorry, or whatever. And that was part of the healing process that happened in South Africa. But those of us here of African descent, we know in Los Estados Unidos, I think, and I have to get my facts, I think at one point there was a proclamation somewhere, but there's never, ever been an attempt to either, correct, to have restitution, and we know that there are movements where there have been attempts for there to be reparations, restitution, right? And or a simple apology, but that's not happened here. And at least in South Africa, they did do it with some success. They still got issues, but we all got issues. So, in closing.
Excuse me, one of the presidents did apologize.
Exactly.
Who, I can't remember, was it Clinton?
I think it was Clinton.
It was Clinton.
I think it was. But in terms of, if you think about the totality,
Yeah.
let's talk about the totality. Let's talk about 250 years. Let's talk about everything that this country was built on free labor.
Yes.
Let's talk about all the Fortune 500 organizations and colleges and universities that own slaves. Let's talk about that. But let's talk about how, in spite of that, we got my sister girl who's a what? We got my sister Najiri, that's what?
Oh, yeah.
A college professor.
Yes.
We got
Poets.
we got me that people tell me I don't look like a lawyer, and I'm like, what the hell does one look like? Do you know some? Because Lord knows I ain't know none. So, you know, we can't get it twisted. We can't let people define who we be. And we got Mr. Gareth, owner of this fabulous gallery.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful
When it comes to
space.
Pam, all you need to do is provide the space. She just takes care of everything.
I put in the work, but I did it with the help of my village.
Yes.
So, questions, comments for any of the artists that ever, does anybody have any questions? And so we have a budding fashion designer here.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself, young lady.
My name is Deborah. I am 14 years old. I started learning about fashion when I was 9 years old. I'm actually doing some designs for my first fashion show.
Okay.
It is postponed because the space is not ready yet, but I'm planning on making 5 designs. That's gonna be going down the runway. I like to play soccer, but I can't do that no more. At the end of summer, I'm going on a cruise for my birthday.
Nice.
wow.
After I get surgery, I'm going on a cruise.
Good.
And hopefully I want to go to Paris Fashion Week.
Oh,
wow.
Hey.
I've been to that. It's beautiful.
Did
So
you say
know-
you were 14 years old?
Oh no, I'm 15. I'm
Oh.
16.
But still, come on.
15?
So you know who the artists are, so feel free to ask them questions if you so. So Mr. Ian back here, so I can't forget my brother from New York. He's like a DJ.
Yay.
I just like to, I like to just mingle and get involved with people who are artists. And everyone's kind of doing their thing, and just more or less feel the energy, because these days it takes a lot to be in that positive environment.
Right.
There's a lot of negativity.
Of course.
You know, so I try to incorporate music and artistry in my vicinity at all times. And I'm glad to be here.
And thank you for coming. Even though he was trying to actually buy stuff, I took off the walls on
Yeah,
my
I like
house.
to get that drum.
Okay, you
That
know.
little picture down there.
And the little boutique over here from Togo, and the mask up there, bro, come on now, bro.
Beautiful work. Glad to hear everybody talk about their work. It's really beautiful.
And so we also have Miss Lisa Brown. Tell us what you do.
I am also a fashion designer. Yay! I definitely want to link up with some of you.
I love your dress. I've been looking at it the whole time.
So it was.
And you made this, did you not, sis?
I did. I made it today.
See?
I-
You see what? Do you see about Ushiri Kiana connections, my people?
I got you. Yeah, and I have a sewing studio in Longwood, so I teach sewing. I made dresses for a while, but that's a burnout, especially around this time of year when you get into prom season and stuff. And I find more joy in teaching people how to do it. And sewing for me came as art therapy. It was definitely therapy for me. I was at a point in the military where I would just bring my sewing machine to work, and I would sew in my office at lunchtime, and it was like taking a nap. Like, okay, I can get through the rest of the day. But that's what I do, and it's a blessing for me to be here, to be around and in the presence of more creatives, because this is definitely feeding me right now. And she's my student, so I was like, hey, you coming with me? Come on, let's go.
And connections, I met her at a Super Bowl party that my sister Bonnie, who from Philly, took me to. Hello. Okay, go Birds. That's right, go Eagles.
Yeah.
What's the name of your sewing studio?
Kimberly's Closet.
Yes, give them the address.
1844 Longwood, Lake Mary Road. It's right down the street from Lake Mary High School.
What's the hours?
Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 7.
Anybody else? Back there, Miss Sandra, would you like to say anything, ma'am? Mom, would you like to say anything? That's my mom back there, y'all.
Well, no more than I'm grateful to be able to participate in this gathering and everything. Of course, the last day I was here for the opening and everything, and I really had a nice time and all.
And you were working. You helped us
That's
set
right, I
this
put
up.
in the work, Because we had the tables out there, we took up that whole space outside, but I thought for this.
I want the young people to know that some of the history that we have today, that we know what's going on today. They are erased.
Guess what? We got another artist. I'm sorry, Mom. We're gonna get Sister Joy to speak too.
And some of the things that happened in my time, in my generation, I didn't even know about it. And my daughter, by her, she loved books, and I taught her to love books when she was, even before she was born, I was reading to her books. She loved them. She's enlightened me to different things that I didn't even know. She would tell me about a person that's like, I never heard of him. I never heard of her.
Right.
They didn't teach us that. They tried to hide as much as they could for us when I was growing up.
Just like you was just telling us about all the inventions that
Right.
We wouldn't have known that. That's been popping up.
And those of us that know, we have to share.
And from the Reconstruction to the 1950s,
we went from a single-digit literacy rate, the ability to read, to 80%. That's the shortest amount of time that a nation, a group of people learn to read at that percentage. 80% of us could read from a single digit, like 8%.
From slavery, we were fresh out of slavery.
Yeah.
And
We
so
just
what
got it,
I would
right?
like to say
I
to
think we
the
just got it.
young people,
Yes.
That's sitting here today.
Good night, my people.
Good night.
Nice sharing this time with you guys.
Oh, did you share your website information with people that want to
Yeah,
get in
I
touch
gave you
with
a
you?
card.
Oh, you got cards,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I will be in
Bye.
Right now, thank you for that.
And so we have the honor
Let Mom
of
finish.
another
We don't-
artist,
we
she
don't
doesn't
want you
have
to
any of
lose
her
your
art.
chance to
Miss
talk.
Joy, Miss
That's
Joy, we
big.
need you to come down here to be part of this down here, Miss Joy. So, you may not know Najiri. This is Joy here.
Ma'am, your mom was talking.
Okay, I'm gonna let Mom finish talking, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Mom, keep talking. Mom was talking.
And what I would love to say to the young people today, all of the information that you know, things that are going on today, you make sure that when your children come along, you teach it to them and tell them so that they will know that they can tell the story to their children. Okay, because a lot of time I just go off on her, I guess what you call it, I don't know, I call Pam and say, well, you know, Pam, so-and-so happened, this and that, and then she will say, oh, I gotta write all this down and everything, I gotta write this down and everything. So, you know, a lot of time when stuff is fresh in your mind, just jot it down on a piece of paper, because when your children come along, you wanna be able to relate to them different things, because with everything being whitewashed today, that they don't want you to know about, you can come and tell them, this happened in 2026, this happened, you know, with all the stuff that's going on today and everything, just kind of keep a record so that all of our histories won't be lost, and we can continue to tell the stories as we evolve.
Have to be like griots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that is very important for, you know, you younger people to remember and to hold on to and be able to share, you know, with your children as you raise them up. You know, you sit them down and you talk to them and you tell them different story, you tell them this and tell them that. And then they will be able to relate to them, to, you know, to their children and everything. And we can keep the stories going, and they won't always feel like they are less than who they are, because they always try to brand us and tell us we don't have the intelligence of this, we don't have the intelligence of that, but we do. And you have to continually be enforcing that into your child as they grow up. And make them know and feel, as Reverend Jackson say, they are somebody.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I am somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're somebody, and we're not going nowhere. We're gonna be here.
That's right.
You know.
I'm black and I'm proud.
That's right.
Damn, now we know where your wisdom came from.
Hello. And so, guess who showed up? Who showed up? You showed up. So for people who don't know, and we know we catch you like, you just like walked in, have something to wet your whistle. You want some wine, have some soda, get you some water. Make yourself at home. Let me give you a moment. Just chill out.
Pam, I just want to thank you for always having your mom around.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because that's
Look, mom says I never stay home. Now, I do stay home sometimes, but I try, if mom wanna come, I'll be like, Mom, you can come hang. So,
Joy, such a nice surprise to see you.
so see, this is what we do. While Joy didn't have any pieces here, she's an artist. And so, Joy, have you ever met Najiri from Kenya?
And then as my grandchildren, you know, come along, my great-grandchildren.
And so some of her artists here, and so she got a Master in Fine Arts from UCF, and she's now a professor teaching art at UCF. And do you know Jaquita?
So young.
Well, she is young. Tell them how young you are.
I just turned 28.
Oh my goodness.
I thought you said, get ready to say 20.
And do you know Jaquita? And she does stain art. And Do you know Linda?
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the people.
I have to ask a question.
Yes.
Where is UCF located?
So the full name is University of Central Florida, and it is located at Union Park,
Alafaya,
Alafaya,
Yeah.
and University
Trail.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the address is 4000 Central Boulevard.
So you have to go there. It's when I first moved here 30 years ago, UCF was podunk. I mean, it was literally not in. But it has expanded, it has grown, it's garnered now an international reputation. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus. There's a
I
lot
got
going
my
on.
master's at, it was formerly called, Florida Technical Institute, FTI, but I got my master's there, and then they changed it. And my degree does have, UCF on it.
And not to leave my sister go out, before you retired, Miss Bonnie, before you retired, what did you do, my sister?
Well, I was a technical writer and editor, and,
For who?
oh, do we have to say?
Yeah, we have to say.
For Lockheed Martin.
All right.
This is one of my colleagues here. We worked on the same program. We worked lots of things and together, you know, and, but what I want to say, I've got to work with such a broad spectrum of things as an, kind of a creative. I mean, I work with the artists in my group. I ended up being a lead, and I had about 2 artists and 1 other editor working in my group. And we did newsletters. I started a newsletter that began with 4 pages, ended up being 58 color pages.
Wow.
It went all over the world, stories from people stationed out there working for the company, and they would give us great stories. Saudi Arabia, they were in Korea, South Korea, different places. I worked with a big, massive, you know, when you have a trade show, those big walls of things, like what will go on here and how big it should be, and creative things, adding appliques and just really those kind of things. Worked in most events you had a photographer, they were employed. We probably had 6 photographers at the company every day. And they would take photos in a studio that was over 100 feet high and huge, like an airplane could get in there, you know, it was like a hangar. And I'd be right there with them saying, well, we need shots of quarters, 3/4, frontals, side, you know, because you had to have it for the newsletter or different things when you're going to the big conferences, and printing and all that. It just was such a great exposure because of all the resources were there. Video, Pro Tools, they script writing. I had to end up writing scripts sometimes to describe products that we were building, and they would do a video. You know, I chose to help choose the talent for the video, and it was a phenomenal experience in that way to have the breadth of experience from.
And she a graduate of a HBCU.
Yeah, Howard U.
All right.
That one. Now, Legenia has a very interesting, powerful story as well. And go ahead, Legenia.
Okay, tell us a little bit about you now.
She's a graduate from high school. That's go start there.
Well, I was fortunate. I always wanted to be something because I had 8 brothers and sisters. My parents, they were poor, of course. So when I went to school, I was determined that I wanted to do a lot for my family, especially my parents. So I was chosen, 4 of us, ladies. I took typing, you know, that was the thing back then.
We all
you
took
know.
typing back in the day.
So I was selected to go to Lockheed Martin and work 2 weeks. That was my final exam.
What was your high school?
Jones High, Black
Ah!
School.
Only black high school in Orlando, for those that don't know the history. That's a whole nother story. See, we got stories to tell.
I had 2 white teachers that really invested in me. They took us to Lockheed Martin every day. They brought us back. One of her husbands, he was a VP, Lynn Rowe. She told me, she said, if you ever have any problems, go to him. And he will solve your problem. Well, I managed to stay there for 44 and a half years. Over that time, I got my associate's degree, I got my bachelor's degree, I got my master's degree.
All right
I
now.
was able to travel to different countries like Italy, Germany, Switzerland, just all of these other countries. Didn't cost me a dime. But I learned so much, you know, interfacing with the English people, the German people. And I found that one of the worst ones were the German people.
I used to live in Germany, by the way. My father was in the military.
Okay.
I went to elementary school in Germany.
Oh.
I know, it's okay. I survived.
You was on base. You wasn't.
The non-verbal cues to me, I love it.
Right.
So what was it about them that made them the worst? I didn't
Yeah,
hear that.
yeah. They were condescending to women. And, you know, black women, we don't tolerate that too well. Yeah, I did not put it that way. I didn't
No, you
tolerate it.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
No way.
But they were the worst ones, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go one time, I did a little bit of travel. I'm just interjecting because I went to American Indian
Reservation?
It wasn't a reservation. We went to Phoenix, and they had a big rollout in Mesa, Arizona, of the Apache helicopter. So the Apache Indians are around that way.
Wow.
And they were part of the ceremony, and they came in their garb, blah, 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 and all that. So on the way there, on the little bus ride from where we all kind of were staying, a couple of the Indians were seated, one by me and a few around, and we were chatting, and the lady was saying to me, she's Indian Apache, she said, we were just having a nice friendly conversation, and she mentioned, oh yes, well come up to White Mountain, and you can see, she said, my son was in the Army, and I was like, Indians are in the
Yes,
Army?
Native Americans, yes.
You know, see, we don't know these things. They fought and died. And I thought they were a whole different nation, you know. But she said, yes. She said, but it's been a pleasure talking to you. Come up to the mountain, and, you know, sometimes it's very beautiful, and I'll be happy to have you, and I'll be like your host. Well, when I got back to the plant in Orlando, back to work, after we flew back, I got called in to the director's office. He was also an Indian, Shrum. And I was under interrogation.
What?
Because I was accused, I touched an Indian, and that is a no-no. And that's a no-no. They're like HR person, she was educated. The Apache Indian HR person that came from Arizona. She was part of their group. She reported me and said that I touched one of the Indians, and I was so, that took me down. I felt like, wow, I got to meet a real Indian, and that was just pitiful. But after they asked me all these questions, and another person came in, Dave Shrum, the Indian man who looked like almost like a movie star white man. He said, I conclude that this was racism, and you have nothing, we're not, you know, there's no penalty, there's nothing, no charges, nothing's gonna be written up. This was just racism, that woman, because he said, well, what were you doing? I said, she invited me to her house. Now, you know, if someone's saying you could come visit them,
Right.
I couldn't have been imposing or
Right.
intruding. So he just concluded the whole thing was racism. So, and I wanted to just add this. She was saying Len Roten, he ended up being president of Lockheed Martin. One portion, they split up into 3 pieces. And just to show God how he gets you places, and us as a people get you through things. I was very, all of us, we weren't treated fair at all. Because I learned there, you had the military racism, you know, the good old boy system racism. you know, that prejudice. You had the military prejudice because they're like this and they're on time early, you know, that mindset. Then you had the, that you're black.
And female.
And female,
female.
double trouble,
And
double whammy.
female. It was bad.
Yeah, where were you? Excuse me. What state were you in?
Orlando.
Right here, Orlando.
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah, and so, you know, I was going up the ladder, but it was slow, I was underpaid, but this is what I want to get to. I ended up being editor to the president, and it was Lynn Roden.
Okay.
Editor to the president. I
Wow.
didn't do edit anything else except his writing, speeches, PowerPoint presentations and things like that. And then they would have, and this is the last story, top 100 for the corporation. Because we have, what, 10,000 people that work there, right? About that. And it would be top 100. So 100 people a year would get their pictures on the wall, and it would always be a lot of white guys and few.
Got it 3 times.
Oh, right, my sister, Black Girl Magic.
I wanted to be top 100 once in my life. I wanted that. I would work so hard. I would do everything. And I mean, I did some extraordinary things. One time, they told me, they used up all the conference rooms in the whole building. I mean, how big is that? It's like a campus in the whole plant. So I said, oh my God, I cannot fail not having a place because of People's Theater.
That's a connection that we have.
People's
We'll talk about
Theater.
that.
Black girl, Kanara Price, was a engineer at Disney. She brought The Lion King. She did all that set when Lion King came to Orlando. Because I was working with that group, I co-founded the guild. I tried to make money for her. I learned a lot. They were so glad to say, no, it's closed. We don't have any rooms for you. I got the lobby. It was like a space like this, Garrett. And I put pipe and drape. One wall was all glass. So how you gonna show view graphs? How you gonna project? You won't be able to see it. I put pipe and drape, black pipe and drape all down there. And I'm telling you, those guys came in there, it was about 100 of them, for their meeting. It was like a 2-day meeting. I had set it up as theater seating. I made an aisle down there, and I had my projector and the screen there. And I got, I saw my boss, he was coming in, and he said, this is nice. He said he was gay. He was from California. He didn't go with all this stuff that they were into. And he came in and he was like, Bonnie, I had a popcorn machine. And because you know you gave them refreshments, you know. I had a popcorn machine, I had some sodas, water, and I said to Don, he was about 34. I said, Don, do you have any music? He said, just classical. I said, oh, take it. He brought it down and I had music playing. It was so fabulous, you know, it was really great.
See, Black Girl Magic, creativity.
I just get you through it.
So see, you never know. So
Yeah.
I'm so fortunate I know people, and I talk to people. So when I first met Bonnie, first off, we lived in the same development, literally down the street.
Yeah, on the same street.
And I was walking, and I didn't know that there was another black person that was there. See you later, my brother. Okay. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my God. And then she told me she was from Philly, and I was like, I'm from Philly. And that was an instant connection. And then People's Theater was a multicultural theater group that Bonnie introduced me to. And so when she left, I became the guild president. And like she said, Kanara Price was the founder. I was on the actual board of directors, and we used to do plays. And actually today in Winter Park, Miss Lily, the one with the all white hair,
Oh, yes.
I took a picture of her. So she was the one that would do all of the sewing for People's Theater. And then the brother who was there who did the theater presentation from Rollins, he was an actual actor in People's Theater. And I hadn't seen him in forever. And so we had that connection. It was, you just never know.
Right.
You just never know. But so, it is, so the last thing we wanna do, now that we have Joey here, is, I was just asking people who are here, like the artists, like Jokita, Linda, Majiri, just asking them how they got started being an artist. And would you just mind telling us a little something about yourself since you're here?
A little something.
And your website information so people can check out your art and system?
Which one is your work?
It's not here.
None of her work is here, but we can show you her website.
The light up ones and the street there next to the big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far back you want me to
Just, you can start at the beginning if you want, how you got started, if you want to say something briefly about that. And you do fabulous work. Some of her art is currently at City Hall, the Orlando City Hall, at that exhibit for Black History Month. So she does commissions, she does portraits, she does a bunch of stuff.
So I'll just start with, I've been drawing since I was about 5 years old. So that's when you know it's natural, and that's where I started drawing on the refrigerator, the walls, wherever I could create an image except for paper, until my father, who worked at a paper mill, came home with a big roll of paper, and I rolled it out on the floor and just laid down and started doing cartoons on there, an endless comic strip.
Oh, wow.
But moving forward, I just kept on drawing and painting in school, and by the time I was 16 years old, my mother passed away, and that kind of changed the direction of things for me, but I still continue doing art. I went on to art school. While I was in high school, I began the commercial art program that they have for you, half day. So I took commercial art, and by the time I graduated from high school, I had associates in commercial art. And back then they didn't have computers. So you're just doing everything, cut and paste and things like that. So, but anyway, I went to art school in Newark, New Jersey for fashion illustration and pictorial illustration. That's where I really got, I guess, my formal education with the basics. Although my mind was still in shock over losing my mother. So I said I would love to go back to school again at this age. I'll be 68 this year. I've raised 5 children over those years. But my real career as an artist actually began doing the artwork for a man that you may or may not have heard of, named Dr. Malachi Z. York, who was a religious leader started back in Brooklyn in the early 80s. I became the illustrator for him for the movement that he had started. Back then it was an Islamic movement. It developed over time into different schools of thought. But anyway, I basically was the artist for him for 19 years. I created, I would say, over 1,000 illustrations that were used in his books that he was writing. Such a variety of subjects, but mainly I started out doing illustrations of all the major prophets and stories from the Bible, stories from the Holy Quran. So I took all of those stories and turned them into people of color. So you're talking about Black Jesus, all the major prophets, the angels, any of the stories of the Bible, those major stories that you probably can think of. I had created them using pastels, and those pastel drawings were probably like size 24 by 30 up to 30 by 40. Very detailed. So all the blending that I was doing, because I was doing all pastels at that time, were blended with my fingers. So over a 19-year period of time, back in 2001, I gotta skip over a lot, cause
It's okay.
this is a documentary waiting.
Right, and
for
we're
me
gonna
to
do it,
start.
yes, I got you,
It's
sis.
a
We
book,
gonna-
it's a story. It's
It
my
is.
story that I have not really come out openly with, because it's a very controversial story. The man who was leading that, Dr. Malachi Z. York, back in 2001, he had moved the community from Brooklyn to upstate New York and then to Georgia. In 2001, I had moved here and left from, I will say, I stopped doing the work for him. The place where he had established a new place was raided and they took him off to, he's now been incarcerated for over 24 years for molesting over 100 children. I knew nothing of that. I felt that at the time I was creating these pictures to help. My job was to help to give our people positive Black images to look up to, instead of you reading the Bible and you see Jesus and you know, if you read his description,
woolly hair.
That's not what they were showing us.
No.
So we just took everybody in the Bible and made them Black people, and I say we, but it was me.
Yes.
Working full time from 9 in the morning on till 2 and 3 in the morning every day with no vacation, because I had left my family to move into this
So it's more like a
organization.
cult and not a community.
Yes. So, you know, I was a follower of that and feeling like I was doing the right thing because of what, you know, what he was teaching. The teachings were very profound. He had people leaving all walks of life to go and follow this man, and he had communities established in different parts of the world, Africa, Jamaica, England, different parts of the United States. There were established communities that were all following him and reading his books and the profound information. So I left out the part where I left my husband 2 weeks before I moved in to become his artist, and it was very, secluded. It was, I really wasn't allowed to go and visit my family or anything over that time. So those paintings at the time when I left from that community, I left all the paintings. The place was raided, the FBI confiscated everything. So all of the paintings that I don't have any of them. And of course, I was never paid to do any of them.
Oh my goodness.
So I have work that are in many people's homes who supported and bought the posters, because once I was doing those pictures for the books, he would make posters of them, and the other brothers who were a part of this community would take those posters out and sell them. And they were selling, because here you had you had a picture of Black Jesus on the cross.
Right.
You got a picture of Black Jesus in the nativity scene now. You got there's countless scenes that I created, if you think about it. So that's just a little bit of my story. Now moving forward, 23 years later, I'm here, and most people who have my art in their homes don't know the story behind the artist. They don't know the value of the true value
Your body of work.
mine.
Yes.
Because I don't have the body of work. And I, over that time, was really kind of afraid to connect in my bio, who I was doing work for, because people, first thing they'll think of is this man's in jail for molesting children.
Right.
But it also was that, I can't confirm that any of that is true, but I just know that he has thousands of followers that are still following him and trying to get him out of jail, and so that makes it kind of controversial, and for me to come out with my story, people are going to want to ask me questions of how could you follow this man who is molesting children? How
Right.
could you be so devoted? But at that time, to me, it was like, this is what the Creator wants me to do. I'm doing this because our people need to see Black
Right,
images
right.
to, the truth is what it is. So that's just a little bit of my story. I'm still at this age trying to balance out my life with having really neglected my children. I say that I raised them alone, but there was a lot of neglect as I devoted myself to, you know, and I'm still struggling.
But my sister, you know I love you, and you're brave, and we all have stories to tell. And so you are a phenomenal artist, and so your body of work since that time, and I feel for you that you did all that work and you never reaped any of the financial reward of all that body of work, which, yes, you know, as people of color, as Black people, it is uplifting for us to see our images in the Bible being depicted as Black people, because yes, the Bible said he had woolly hair, and we all grew up with the images blonde hair, blue-eyed, and there was nothing woolly about blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay? So we know religion for a lot of us is like, and that was why, you know, they didn't want us to learn how to read. And if you think about it, where we are now in terms of those people who call themselves Christians, but look at what's being done in the name of Christianity. I'm just saying. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on with the whole religion thing. I mean, so it is what it is. It is what it is. But your website, so people can see some of your fabulous work that you do, and you can go to City Hall and see some of her. And I got some pictures I can share. Some fabulous work that she do. Okay.
Are you down there now?
Yes.
I only have 2 pieces here, but also presently I have art on display on a permanent basis with Monica May's restaurant on CP Bistro. She has like a good 15 pieces of my art. Park Drive Gallery in Sanford. And Jenny Young's Eat, Socialize, and Play is a new. She's been open, but she's reopening.
Where is that?
That's on Church Street. You know where Eddie's used to be?
But it's somewhere in Church Street.
Chef Eddie. Yeah. So she took over that spot and she's renovated and she's really excited. We're gonna be doing paint parties and
she does paint parties, paint and sit. You can hire her to do an event for you. See, we got all levels of talent up in here. She does portraits. She will do portraits of you, your animal, whatever, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
May I say something? I would like to just let you ladies know how in awe I am of your abilities, of you rising up against the struggles and the walls that were trying to be placed in front of you, but you strode through it anyway. Like Maya says, we rise. I am so humbled by your talent. I praise God for everything that you have accomplished and have still yet to accomplish.
Okay, but now, Sister Sandra, see, you don't open yourself up now. So why don't you share with us what you did for a living? All right.
What did I do?
What did you do, my sister?
Well,
I'm just letting everybody, it's after 8 o'clock.
Right, and we gonna, this gonna be the last one?
If anybody came in through JC Penney, it's closed now. So if I can help you get to where you need to go. If you can't, if you came in through JC Penney, they're closed. So just see me if you need to know exactly how to get to your car.
Because we can go out that way. Okay, and then, so what did you do, my sister?
You mean what I did for work?
Okay, that's fine.
My story is so dumb.
No, it's not.
Where did I start? Born and brought up in England, relocated to America in 1974. Been through some struggles. They say prejudice isn't spoken of or it doesn't exist, it's in our mind. They like try to make us think that we're foolish, and thinking that we're being discriminated against. It's a reality. In one of the jobs I had, this fellow from Mobile, Alabama, used to speak badly, say, oh, I know why they put them in the back of the bus. And he said it so I could hear it. I did not rise to it. I started to document everything. I go home, I cry, I pray, came back to work the next day with a big smile. He did this to me for a whole year. And I have a document this big of everything I had to write down to cover myself. Because you tried to make it look as if I wasn't doing my job, which I was. So, about a year, he went on to do something else. A new boss took over, and he called me into the office and said that he got a letter from the previous boss as to how incompetent I was, and how I was this, and how I was that, and da. So he said, well, you know what? We're not going to look at that. I'm just going to see how you are. So praise God, he gave me a fair person.
Right.
And he could see that what he wrote is absolutely untrue. Of course, you see that the hurtful thing is that nobody addressed the fact that he was belittling me and being negative and prejudiced towards me all that time. Nobody. Okay? But maybe about 6 months after that, guess whose resume came across my desk?
Karma.
Shredded.
Did it disappear?
So I went into the boss, I said, look at this. He said, He said, what do you want to do with this? I don't know, it's up to you. Thank you, Jesus. But I went on from there and I did other things. I was an airport manager in Miami for 26 years, and I enjoyed the life God has given me. Been through a lot of stuff. I lost my daughter at age 24. Devastated me. Still does, because it doesn't go away. But God's given me strength to deal with it and go through it. And I'm learning so much more about my people, black people. In England, it's so different. Do you know what I mean? Like, these people weren't as overtly culturally minded as people here. So there's a lot of stuff I'm learning from Pam. I learned recently about Central Park in Manhattan. Okay. I was absolutely agog. I could not believe it. What? And then there was other villages that were eradicated because we got sense. All of our inventions, as you mentioned before. It's like, oh my goodness. But you know what? To God be the glory. You know, I give him praise, I give him thanks, and I'm recovering from surgery. I'm doing better.
Yes, you are, my sister.
I tell you, while I was from the surgery to the skilled nursing to get my strength back and what have you, they were giving me the antibiotics for 10 days. Come to find out, the director came and told me, I'm so sorry, we made a mistake. We gave you the wrong medication.
Oh my God.
Terribly. You're the same person in a month that I've heard.
IV
They gave me
midlife
one.
antibiotics 5 times a day for 10 days straight. Not mine. Shouldn't have been in my body at all. So I cried like a baby as usual. But I went to God, and I'm still dealing with it. You know, I filed all the necessary reports and what have you, and see what's going to happen.
But you're still standing, my sister.
God is good.
All the time.
He is. He's so good, and I trust him for everything. Whatever's to happen will happen, and that's why I admire you young ladies. Don't stop. Don't let all these negativities interfere with your drive, your passion, your abilities. You know what I mean? Just give God the praise and keep stepping. In Jesus' name, keep stepping. Thank you so much for sharing all your beautiful work with me. It's an eye-opener. My Pam, see that woman there? She's a piece of treasure to me. And her mama Clara. They're like, it's like I've enveloped a whole new being. Do you know what I mean? Oh, my goodness, you have no idea.
So how long have you been in the United States?
America, since 1974.
74?
Yeah, I'm going to be, God spare my life, I'll be 75 this year.
And we did not taint that lovely accent that you had.
I know. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful.
So as you see, we are like all over. Like the United States, you know, we're all mongrels. But we're all one. We're all one. She wanted to say something real quick, and then we're gonna get up out of here, cause you know Gareth is like, I'm ready to go home.
Oh, I did not say anything.
I know you did, but we didn't come here to spend the night.
No, the light went out because it's on a timer. I'll turn it back on.
They don't know how to leave.
So
we
what would you like to say?
I just want to say thank you for for sharing y'all stories. It makes me think back already to middle school when people told me I'll never make it or never do fashion shows. But here I am prepared for my fashion show.
Amen.
As a young person in all my family.
She's just
for
15,
the,
Joy.
For the first person in my family to ever do fashion show, going off to fashion college after high school.
All right.
Very proud of
I
you.
got multiple people in my family that was involved with fashion, but never got to do fashion show. So I'm the first person in my family
And you will
to
be
do
the
fashion
last.
things. Yeah, do
You
fashion
just started,
things
girl.
and participate in a fashion show. So I'm so excited for that.
Excellent.
So I have a question for you, because I've just, to be 15 years old and exude such confidence in how you speak, and I just wanted to, like, how did you, I wasn't talking like that when I was
So, actually, I was told by many kids and teachers that I would never make it to fashion school, and I use that motivation to do what I am doing right now.
Yes, yes, excellent.
We're
Never
very
say
proud of
never.
you.
Exactly.
And
Linda wants to
I
say.
want to say that I will keep you in my prayers for the surgery, and you're gonna be all right.
Yes.
Actually, I'm getting a new bone. I have to get a new bone.
Bone?
Yeah, a new ankle bone.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna be all right.
Actually, I am the first mixed person in my family to be involved in these things. Actually. Yeah, I am. When somebody asked me question what I mixed with, and they Lee said something that was so racist, so horrible. So horrible. I told them that I was I mixed with German, white, Southern African, West African, multiple things, and they told me that was disgusting.
Just because they're ignorant.
I did the Ancestry.com. Yeah, I did a DNA test, and it's amazing how many, I guess, segments
Right,
that came
right,
out. And
right.
I'm like, well, we don't know who we are.
We're all mongrels.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
a bit of everything.
yeah.
But they think they're pure, but they're not.
But they're not one of them.
None of them.
Exactly. That's right.
Yes.
So, ladies and gents, you don't know how special this was that we were able, thanks to Garrett's hard work, because he reconfigured the gallery. He did the drapes, he did the new chairs, and I said, we want this to be small and intimate. It's gonna be called a sip and sit.
I just want to say, Pam, that I didn't even imagine that it would be this good, this type of exchange, this type of, coming together. This is what I really wanted to see, and I'm just saying thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta get a picture with all my artists. Hold on. Because I didn't get one from the beginning. So let's get a picture.
You gotta find a good lighting spot.
Yes. Okay.
Where?